Imagine it's Friday night. Millions of families all across America are doing the exact same thing. They're driving to one store, Blockbuster. They walk the aisles, pick out a movie, grab some candy, and head home. For over a decade, that was Friday night. Blockbuster wasn't just a store, it was a tradition. But today, that tradition is gone. And the tiny startup that replaced it, Netflix, who was once laughed out of the room. This is the story of how the little guy almost gave up, kept running, and eventually crushed a giant. But even as Blockbuster conquered the world, they left one problem unsolved: late fees.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
By the late 90s, Blockbuster was making nearly $800 million a year just from customers returning tapes late. People hated it, but they had no alternative. Until 1997. That year, Reed Hastings rented Apollo 13. He forgot to bring it back. His punishment? A late $40 fee. Hastings was embarrassed, but instead of shrugging it off, he thought, what if movie rentals work differently? He shared the idea with Mark Randolph, his friend and fellow entrepreneur. Together, they sketched a new kind of company, a service with no late fees, no due dates, one flat monthly subscription.
Why, Jimmy? Why are you still not renting your movies from the Netflix? Come here, sit down. It's easy. Make a list of movies you want to see and get your first DVDs in the mail in about one business day.
Oh, it is easy.
Shut up. Keep them as long as you want. Send one back in a prepaid envelope, and they automatically mail another from your list. Late fees? Forget about it.
No late fees.
Shut up.
There's a movie waiting for you at home. Netflix. All the DVDs you want, starting at only $9.99 a month.
Netflix launched in 1997 as a DVD by mail service. The idea seemed absurd. Fewer than 2% of households owned DVD players. The website was clunky and shipping costs were brutal. Netflix lost money on almost every order. Investors doubted them. Customers were slow to sign up. But slowly, their idea began solving a frustration millions of families shared: freedom from Blockbuster's late fees. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't easy, but Netflix had planted a seed, one that would soon grow into Blockbuster's worst nightmare. By the late 90s, Blockbuster looked untouchable, thousands of stores worldwide. Netflix? They were struggling. They had fewer than 500,000 customers. They were burning through cash every month. By 2000, Reed Hastings made a desperate move. He flew to Dallas and sat across from Blockbuster's executives. He ordered to sell Netflix for $50 million. The response? Laughter. Blockbuster executives dismissed Netflix as a niche experiment with no future. For Blockbuster, it was just another meeting. For Netflix, it was a moment they'd never forget. The giant mocked the underdog, but Netflix kept running. Netflix's beginnings were messy. At first, Hastings and Randolph tried mailing VHS tapes. Too heavy, too fragile, shipping costs made it impossible. Then they tested DVDs, a brand new technology at the time. Almost no one owned a DVD player. But DVDs were light, durable, and easy to mail. To test it, Hastings dropped a CD into an envelope and mailed it to himself. It arrived in perfect condition. The small experiment gave Netflix its model. They launched as a pay-per-rental site. Customers logged on to their clunky website, picked a DVD, paid a small fee, and received it in a red envelope. But the model didn't scale. Shipping costs ate into profits, and returns were inconsistent. So Netflix pivoted. They introduced a subscription plan, one monthly fee, unlimited rentals, no late fees. Customers could keep movies as long as they wanted. It was a breakthrough. Customers loved it. By 2005, Netflix had 4 million subscribers. Still, they weren't satisfied. Netflix began investing heavily into algorithms, systems that studied what customers rented and recommended the next title. Suddenly, Netflix wasn't just convenient, it was personal. And then in 2007, Netflix took its boldest step yet: streaming. No DVDs, no shipping, movies and shows, instantly over the internet. At first it was clunky, the library was small, The quality wasn't perfect, but it was the future and Netflix knew it. While Netflix was reinventing itself, Blockbuster was stuck in the past. Their empire was built on two things: physical stores and late fees. When Netflix eliminated late fees, Blockbuster hesitated. Dropping them meant losing hundreds of millions in profit. By the time Blockbuster copied Netflix's subscription model, Netflix had already built loyalty. By the time Blockbuster tested streaming, Netflix had already defined it. Blockbuster executives weren't blind, they saw the shift, but they were paralyzed. Truly committing to streaming meant dismantling the very foundation of the empire, the stores that had once made them unstoppable. Instead of adapting, they clung to short-term profits. Then came the 2008 financial crisis. Families were cutting back. Driving to a store and paying late fees felt like a burden. A $10 Netflix subscription felt like freedom. And by 2010, Netflix had over 20 million subscribers. Blockbuster had more than $1 billion in debt. That year, Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy. The giant wasn't defeated by Netflix alone, it was defeated by its own refusal to adapt. After Blockbuster fell, Netflix only accelerated. They didn't just rent movies, they became a content powerhouse. In 2013, they released House of Cards, their first original show. Then came Orange is the New Black, Stranger Things, The Crown, and dozens more. Netflix wasn't just delivering Hollywood hits, they were creating them. They expanded to over 190 countries. They invested billions into original content. Their subscriber base grew into hundreds of millions. Today, Netflix is worth over $200 billion. In Blockbuster, only one store remains, in Bend, Oregon.
When the world ends and the internet streams no more, we'll still be here.
Hey, Steve.
Tourist attraction, a museum of what once was. Blockbuster didn't lose because Netflix was bigger. They lost because Netflix adapted, and they didn't. Blockbuster thought they were in the video rental business. Netflix knew they were in the entertainment business. Blockbuster stopped running, Netflix never did. The lesson? In business, you're never safe. The race never ends, and sometimes the little guy everybody laughs at ends up owning the room.